Welcome to our channel. Yay. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
How have you been?
We're good.
Good, great.
Ooh,
okay.
I had a nice week. It was good.
It's been
Stressful but week.
Yeah, I was going to say that stressful, but not frustrated.
You're alive, right?
Contrary to what you guys had, I had a good one. It was restful.
Definitely.
He has
Just got back from Lagos. So
exactly. It has to be. She's been chilling. She's been chilling.
So yeah, sorry guys, but yeah, I'm good.
It's okay. It's good to have you back.
Yes.
Thank you, mamas.
Now my week was interesting. It was good. You know, I had some mommy outbursts here and there, but we are here and we are moving on.
We're thriving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of mommy outbursts, but anyway, did you guys see this video I sent in the group chat?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So
See.
Keep them away from any screens. You should do it for as long as humanly possible.
Oh, shoot.
Because those steal their attention. And yes, it gives you a break.
Yeah.
But at what cost?
What
at
about
the cost of increasing their risk of depression? Because the screens were purposefully created to elicit dopamine responses in their brain. It hooks them. All the video game addictions for kids is a disaster for them. Their thumb representation in their brain is expanding. And you know what other animal have large thumb representations? Monkeys.
Okay.
We don't want to evolve backwards.
Yeah.
Right? So this technology has been unleashed on our population, and all the neuroscience research is bad. None of it says, oh, this is a good thing. The American Academy of Pediatrics came out and said no screens before 3. And I'm like, that's still young. Because it's a developing brain, and you don't want their attention to require all the stimulation you get. So you want to be super careful about that.
It's kind of centered around, you saw screen time, right?
Yes.
So, thoughts?
Well, I think I'll start with, I don't know what mothers are thinking about or what parents think about when all they want to do at first is give their baby screen time. A friend sent me the baby registry of the baby, and the first thing I saw on the list was the Amazon Kindle tablet.
Oh, the tab, okay.
For the baby. And I'm like,
For
hey,
a baby
girl.
that wasn't born?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, girl, why are you doing this? And she was like, oh, she's going to start screen time as soon as possible. As soon as 3 months, she's going to start doing screen time and all of this and all of that. And I'm like, no, girl, you don't want to do that. And she goes, oh, I'm a first-time mom. I'm kind of busy, work, this and that. But, you know, it was difficult for me to just tell her that, have you read about screen time for babies and the side effects it has on them? But then again, I just told myself that, okay, at this point, I would just call her later to explain to her. And when I did, she was kind of adamant, and it felt like, you know, when mothers just give birth to their babies, they want to do it their own way. But for me, I think it's just good when we read more, we understand more, we know, we research well before we introduce our babies to things.
For sure.
And it's just so sad, the number of things that are happening out there to babies because of the screen time.
Yeah.
I think I was reading some time ago about cocoa melon and the effect it has on children. And I would not lie to you, I have series of babies out there with different kinds of diagnoses, autism and all of that. And I think it can be like a percentage, even if it's very low, can be linked to screen time and all of that. I don't know how we do it.
I don't know if it's
That's a bit dicey.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I mean. When you say some people have watched some things and we can link them to conditions like autism. I bear a contrary opinion.
Okay.
Right? I wouldn't outrightly say, because in all fairness, we don't have. If I have access to research that links autism
So screen time.
to screen time, like to screen time, and say, oh, it has been researched and shown that, So, but I hear you, right? I understand. Maybe you say things like attention deficit, which can be found in children who
I
have
totally-
exactly.
I totally
So
agree.
because we're, so people don't feel like, oh, I won't let my child watch this because it's gonna give him or her autism. You get what I mean?
Oh.
It would, I think, for things like attention deficit, it would limit, their attention. It would also make them hyperactive.
Yeah.
All of those things, because some of those symptoms are found in, children. So it would then appear as though
Yeah.
you link. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
it does.
So I'm like, it would be nice to like draw that, because it's a fine line. It's not fine. It's actually a blurry line, right? So we don't want to also step on that.
Yeah, it's very.
You get what I mean?
I totally
this
agree
I'm
with
saying.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure you're saying that meaning no harm. I know, right? I'm saying it because I'm medically,
You kind of, yeah, you're aware of
knowledgeable,
it.
right? Like because of my field. That's why I can come and say, oh, and I'm sure mothers who don't have as much, when it's like we've been exposed to loads and loads of information, too much that we don't even know where to categorize what. That's what I mean. Just like you just said,
Yeah.
this. I don't want people to come for you and say, "Why is that lady for last saying children?" They're gonna, you get what I
Because
mean?
before you know, they pick that aspect. But
Exactly. So
and
like,
that's all.
it's-
That's all
it's
they're going to
good.
talk about. But you know what you're saying is actually, I have that personal experience as well, because with my son, I was getting reports. Oh, he's not concentrating in school, and they almost started tagging him with the ADHD thing, and all. He's active, but honestly, my son can be on a tablet in front of a screen the whole day. And he would only take a break when he wants to eat. And honestly, it worked for us when we cut down his screen time. Now he doesn't get his tablet Monday to Friday. He only gets it on weekends. And on Sunday, for example, we also limit the screen time he has because he has to be in school on Monday. We got reports that, oh, he was a little slow Monday morning. He wasn't really concentrating and he picked up in the afternoon. And we just got to find out that, right, he was spending a lot of time
Overstimulated.
on it. So his attention was way down there. But the minute we were able to do that and put him on a routine, he improved. So the
Right.
goals he was setting with his teacher in school wasn't more of you're not paying attention. It wasn't more of you're not completing your work, which was the issue they had earlier. And we got to find out, right, he's getting too much screen time. He's involved in this. He's watching this. He's inquisitive, and we understood that. So we had to channel it to more other stuff like reading books. I remember taking him to the doctor, and the doctor said, put him in chess. Let him start playing chess. Because he said, instead of the screen time, this boy, he wants to know what's going on behind the computer. Because the minute you enter the doctor's office, he's already trying to look, why is this connected to this? And the man says, this is not ADHD. This is more of attention. And then channel it to the right part.
Right.
Maybe he's bored and he needs to channel it. So screens definitely, I wouldn't advise having too much screen time for a child. Based off of my experience. It's okay for them to get some sort of screen time, but not a lot of screen time, because the truth is it would affect them over time. And I understand as a mom, you want to get things done and then you just, it's going to keep them quiet.
Exactly.
And
That's what
honestly,
I was going to say.
I did that a lot. Like, I just want to have peace.
Like,
Let me cook. Let me
take
do
the
this.
screen,
The
right.
sanity and all that. But at the same time, on the same screen, I was like, now it's affecting him. So what do we do about it? So screen time, definitely. I kind of agree with what he said in the video. Like,
Yeah, with the
I
whole
did
screen
agree
stuff,
with him
yeah.
as well. But again, this is like, we're not really going to judge. This is like a no judgment,
Yeah.
zone. I can relate to mothers who just want to have peace, who just want to. So we're not really judging you guys, right? We're not, right?
Yeah.
And we're not saying, oh, it's not screen time is not good. It's not like we like our tell our children screen.
They still
Yeah,
get screen
no.
time. He still gets
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
It's
We're
just
just
it's
based
regulated
on-
at this
yeah,
point.
based on what
Yeah,
we're seeing.
yeah.
Exactly.
At what
And I
age?
think you need
At
to
what
also
age?
the direction in which I think I am parenting my girls, I would say I'm studying them, right? Like, okay. And the typical thing that maybe I might allow them to do, I'm thinking, how does that actually fit with this child? So my daughter, she watches, she has screen time. But the thing is that she actually doesn't want to watch. If she has something else to do, which goes back to what you were saying, she prefers it. Sometimes she comes home from daycare and she won't ask you for a screen time or TV. She'll just go and play with like in her tent, like. So if she has an alternative, she actually won't even watch the screen. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think it's important to know your kids as well. Like, and there's some things on screens that they're not bad. Like if it's alphabets, numbers, things like that, like it can help. But like I said, I do feel like as parents, we should try to, put some control in place. A friend of mine back in the UK, her kids, so they have tablets, but she controls it. So after a certain time, no matter what, it goes off. Like even if they have it in their room and she's upstairs or maybe she's doing something, they're a bit older, but still, it shuts it down. Okay. So, I mean, in the generation that we are in, technology is getting more advanced. You can't really not allow your kids to watch screen time, but some people are doing it successfully, and if it works for you, that's fine. But at the same time, I think it's just about having a good balance.
Sorry,
that's what I think.
You know why I laugh?
No.
when she mentioned technology, like, guys, guess what came to my mind?
What?
Faller's glasses.
No, but
You'll be careful,
Nancy. No, but to be honest, this technology thing we're talking about, like mine, his books that he has to read in a week, 5 books in a week, is on the tab. He has to use the tab to read. So what we do is during the week, you're not allowed to play any game, no nothing. If you're on the tab, myself and the dad, either one of us have to give that time to sit with him, watch him read, listen to the book on the tab, do the quiz, and then as soon as he's done, okay, can we have the tablet, please? Thank you. And that's it. But when he has to play games and things like that, we can, please. Because honestly, you need to mold them to a certain stage. Yeah. And then when they build that confidence and know their right from their left, then they know, okay, now I've had enough of screen time. I'm done with this. Let me get other activity done. And kids are different, like you said. Mine, if you leave him, he will stay on the tab the whole day. If you leave him to play with his toys, he would find it boring. Yeah. He would say to you, Mommy, I'm bored. And I'm like there are toys in the house. Like,
right.
Learn to play or do other stuff other than your tablet. So which is where we are now at the moment. You don't have to be on your tab to have fun.
Yeah.
You can also have fun playing with your friends. You can have fun doing something outside of the tablet. Because honestly, kids right now, I'm sorry, it's all about your tablets. Even play dates, tablets. Sleepover, tablets. Yes, that's what they do.
I don't know what's happening to me today, guys, but I'm just really, really playing devil's I'm not devil in the name of Jesus, but you get what I mean, right? But I'm just, because I'm just, on one side, just trying to speak for people who are like really too busy. Some people are really busy, right? Like you mentioned something, play with your friends. Some kids don't really have friends, like, or siblings. Like you would say, oh, play with your younger sister or play with your brother. What would you say about an only child, right? Yeah. Who's like young, who maybe has not started daycare or attends only daycare and comes back home and doesn't really interact with many people and has like very, very busy mother and daddy, right? I would say, right, I'm saying this very carefully. Do what works for you.
Exactly.
But we're just coming from a place of love to say, research is showing that
and this is
screen time is bad. So please, as much as you can. Like, so we're not trying to, judge you guys and say, oh, please reduce screen time. We're just saying, we're just sharing the information and the knowledge that we have.
Yeah. And this is a personal experience.
Exactly.
So it's not like it was It has to do with anybody. It has to do with me personally.
Right.
You know, me giving my own personal experience on how we are doing it, because as a result of the reports we got from school.
Yeah.
And that's what's working for us, reducing screen time. So it doesn't mean we cut it totally, but we have to reduce it because we
Yeah.
want the best for him as well.
And just to add to that as well, like we might think, okay, well, she's still a young child, you can watch screen time. I'm sorry, but the kids that we are having these days are not. I'm sorry, they're not kids that you were having 30, 20 years ago. They are
The way their mind
they are
works.
smart.
Very smart.
So you also have to channel that like
Energy.
energy back to it.
Right,
Yeah.
yes.
With my kids as well, I watch what she
You're
watches. I watch what she watches. She likes watching Paw Patrol. There's one safety show now that tells you how to cross the road and stuff. Like we are watching it together. If we are watching something, we watch it together. That's another thing I would say to parents. Sometimes
Get
watch what you
involved.
you never know. Like
Yeah.
you might pick up something about your child that you can also channel in another way as well that would help them apart from screen time. But
Well, you
I don't think
Well-
there's anything wrong with screen time. Just find a way that works for you.
As opposed to what everyone is saying,
Good.
I still stand on the fact that we have to reduce screen time.
Yes.
No,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not contra- like,
I
it's not.
agree.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah,
It's not. You're not against what. Like it's not opposite, right?
Yeah,
It's,
I
we're on the
mean,
same
we,
page.
We can't be
We
too
have to.
busy for our children.
Yeah, I agree.
If we don't have, if we are so busy, buy them musical instruments, buy them something they can play with. I mean, this screen time it has really affected a lot of children out there, and because of that, it's affecting the next generation coming up. These children are our future. Hardly would you see a child that is not wearing recommended glasses these days because of screen time. The attention deficit is crazy out
And
there.
social skills as well.
These children are going through a lot. You know, at some point I realized that my 3 kids, they'll sit in a room and they're not talking to each other. They are
Yeah,
all on their
that's-
screens.
yeah.
And it's affecting the bond they're supposed to have as siblings. And because of that, I just told them, hey, no screen time for the next 3 months. It's like they want to go crazy, but then they get used to it. Before I know it, I see them playing all around, scattering the whole house. Yes, scatter the house.
And learn to arrange.
Scatter it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Scream. I mean, use the piano, use the saxophone, use anything. Use the microphone. Enjoy yourselves. And then when they are done, they go outside, play soccer, play with themselves. By the time they are back, they are too tired to even
bedtime.
think of the screen.
So
Please,
mamas,
I mean-
we love you, right?
Yes.
We truly
The
do
way you're
love
saying
you.
We're not here to judge. because this thing is affecting almost all of us.
Yeah.
My children,
We
they
love
have
you,
screen
and-
time as well. But
I've been very
but I
transparent
started
as well.
learning when my first child, they had to tell him at school that he had ADHD. It's like, no, this is not ADHD.
Exactly.
I had to start praying against it. I had to start working on him. I start giving him yoga, time to meditate. Yes. Sometimes
Right.
I just tell him to sit down. Damn it, sit down there. He's there 30 minutes, sitting down and just looking. I had to help him out. And that took me it was a lot of emotion. Sometimes I just see that his attention span is very low. Sometimes I just cry because I ask myself that, oh, Fola, you have allowed this happen to your child. So we don't want to see the consequences growing up. We want to tame them now. We want to, catch them and help them to channel their energy into something good that would affect their life. There's this thing I tell my child. I would say, Dami, you see all these programs on the TV. It's in the cloud. You can watch it in another 30 years. So why do you have to watch it now? Spend your time doing something meaningful now. You can go back to it in 30 years and laugh. And be like,
So you want child to watch Miss Rachel when it's 30?
That's wild.
but
Now
you know
that's
what I
wild.
mean, right?
You know, you said something earlier.
But then I watch Miss Rachel. So what are you saying?
I actually do too. At my
you have no choice.
Do you know there was a time I just got to my husband, he was doing it was like Coco Melon, one of Coco Melon.
oh my God.
I was like, hold on, how come you're he said, oh, there's a new episode. I'm like, wow, you're gone. Because that was the time he had to stay with our little one at home. So he was always watching, thinking with him. He's walking and the boy is watching. And he even knows a new episode. I'm like, wow.
No, I usually have to watch whatever my daughter watches with her. I don't want to call the name of the
We know, don't worry.
Rachel.
But then it gets to a point where she watches it, and in fact,
But
she
actually,
knows
I love Miss Rachel.
She knows exactly. I love her too. She knows that we're like,
I don't like Miss Rachel. Sorry.
okay. She knows that we're like bodies. Like,
I love that secret.
Because everyone was like,
bubblegum.
I don't like Miss Rachel.
so there are places where maybe
I
when
don't
say,
have any problem
say
with
this,
Rachel.
say this, say like she looks at me, and my daughter just looks at me for that, to affirm that we're both
on the
watch
same page.
Miss Rachel bodies. I'm like, say hey, dance. I was like, yeah. I'm like, so yes, we need to limit as much as we need to limit screen time, and we need to, if you're doing screen time for your babies or for your children, it would be nice to watch and see what they're doing, right? Because even the older ones are starting to go wild. Not even now. We've only talked about the really little ones, the teenagers, like the ones that are preteens.
They are on
What they are
another
watching
level.
now.
It's
They are on
something.
another level. Another
No, it's
level.
something.
So, and I think
Entirely.
if you start when they are younger and you channel their energy correctly, and they, for example, she said learn a musical instrument. Imagine we even have time for screen when you become. Won't you be a proud parent if your child is like really, really good at something, and they're calling you?
Exactly.
You have to, as a woman, you now buff up with your child to go to one correct event where people are like, "Oh,
Yeah.
is that your child? Oh, I'm really, really like this is so. You must be proud of him, or you must be proud of her. I'm sure you want that to you. I'm yet to see that person who
It's not.
who someone will see outside and say, oh, your daughter, she watches Miss Rachel. Wow, you must be proud. Because what do you really get from Paw Patrol? Or what do you get from, like...
We're not against those shows.
Exactly, we're not
Please,
against
I know
them,
to
but
my
we're
own
saying that
likes.
there are better things that you can...
Channel there,
and
yeah,
like I
yeah.
said earlier, we love you, and we stumbled on... We have this information, we have this knowledge, and we are thinking it's only fair that we share with our mamas out there and let you guys know that, please, you're doing well, but if you can, cut down
Screen time.
right?
Yeah.
Go
Thank
to the
you
library.
so much, guys. So,
Thanks, guys.
libraries.
Yeah,
good.
there are a lot of
Yes,
activities
so
out
many
there.
So many things.
Yeah.
Like,
Lots
but
of
I think
activities.
we won't go into the conversation now, but I think
Exactly.
it's also a culture thing.
There are
Sorry
also
to say.
audiobooks out there.
I'm not trying to throw the works in the span. I'm just saying, like the other culture, they do a lot of activities. So it's, we'll visit that conversation another time.
Yeah.
So we can actually, this is actually a big conversation. We can continue
Yeah.
in the comments. If you have, things you feel that you want to add or share, we'll take it in the comments. We'll, let us know what you think is good. Let us know what you think is not good. Let us know what,
What's working for
what's
you?
working for you so that other mamas can learn, right?
Yeah.
We'll be waiting to see your comments. Thank you so much. It has been
Wonderful discussion.
Amazing.
Yeah, sweet.
Amazing.
Sweet. So
Thank
till next time, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good time.